Hey guys, someone requested on how to level their deck on their ZK. So if your deck isn't cutting level, I'm going to show you the proper way on how to adjust your deck. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure your tire pressure is even on both sides. On this machine, I got foam filled tires up front, so I don't need to adjust any of that. But my rears, I got them set at 20 PSI. And then you also want to make sure you have good quality blades on there. If your blades are super worn out, one might be bent or whatever, you want to make sure your blades are nice and straight and aren't super worn out, so you get the proper deck level. So right now I have my deck covers taken off, and I also have the rear platform guard removed. On this deck system, it's a 4-link system, so we got to get access to our nuts on the bottom of the rods. Set your deck level. I always do 3 inches. You can do 3, 4. I always try to stick with the inch measurements to make it a lot easier. The tools you're going to need is 2 3/4 inch wrenches. You're going to need a 3/4 inch ratchet and a socket. And on Amazon, you can get this Oregon part number 42-095. It's the cutting height tool. That's what we use here. So once you get your deck at the height we're gonna measure at, you wanna take the tool here and you're gonna put your blade tip right on this point here. And we're gonna measure what our rear is. So we're right at 3 inches, all right? Now you're gonna go to your front and we're at 2 3/4. So from the front to the back, you want an 1/8 inch pitch. So right now this side is good and is level. Let's go ahead and check our other side. So on this side, my rear was at 3 inches and my front was at 2.5. So I need to raise up the front of the deck on this side so I can get the perfect 1/8 inch difference. So we're gonna take our 2 3/4 inch wrenches, and right here is your deck adjustment. So you got your chain, your rod, and you have a nut on the bottom here. The reason you want 2 wrenches in case you can't just turn the nut and this wants to move, right, like so. So we're gonna lock it down. We're gonna go ahead and raise this side just by turning that nut on the bottom. It's very sensitive, so once you turn it a couple times, you want to go ahead and recheck your deck level. So I'm going to recheck it, and we're right at 2 3/4. So now our deck is level. I just want to point out, if your machine is way off, you might have to adjust more than what I adjusted. How I adjust the deck, I go from front to back on both sides and I get as close as I can. If one side's giving me a hard time, you might have to do it diagonally. So if this side is too low but I don't have enough adjustment on my bolt here, then I'm gonna go to the other side and adjust that side higher to bring this side down. Deck level also depends on if your bushings are shot on your machine, sometimes these chains can get worn out. There's a lot of factors in the deck level, but the simple way to just adjust the deck is by adjusting this bolt here for the front, and I'll show you how to do it in the rear. So if your back of your deck's not cutting level, the way to adjust the back of the deck is by these 2 rods in the rear right here that are held on by the chains back here. So same thing as the front. If you need to bring it up, you're gonna tighten this one. And then if it's too low, you're gonna tighten this one. If it's way too high than what you're set at, you're gonna loosen this bolt here and drop the rear of the deck. And that is both sides. It has separate chains. So this is your right side and this is the left side. So all depending on your machine, is how much you're going to adjust it. I tried my best to show you guys how to adjust a deck. If it's something you don't want to hassle with or can't figure it out, bring it here to Cutting Edge Lawn Equipment and let the pros take care of it. Make sure you leave a comment on what y'all want to see and like and subscribe. Thanks.